live, and this is oh, it hasn't gone
Nope.
live. It just
Nope.
said it went live.
It
It had
went
that
3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1,
go.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we are trying something new here. I am in Quartzsite. This is totally off the grid. I'm not even on Starlink. I'm so far off the grid. T-Mobile hotspot, not T-Mobile cell phone. Like my T-Mobile cell phone internet service stinks. It's like 50 down and less than 1 up, and you need at least 5 up to stream.
That's
And out
painful.
of the blue, after I paid for a month of Starlink to use it here, $100 and some out the door, which we'll get back to in a second. I just like, I'll plug in the T-Mobile internet router and see what I got. 600 megabits per second down, 25 megabits per second up. Like, really? Cellular internet, middle of the desert. Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I tested on the phone. Like I said, it was 50 down and 1 up. 0.27 up or something like that. Like, all right, fine, get out the Starlink. So Starlink, I started it up, and then after I did the switch over, that little test, because hams like to test things, hopefully. I'm like, could you guys please like check my usage and just like refund me? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. So money back. That was awesome. Thank you, Starlink.
Nice.
You guys are awesome. Yeah.
So you are at Quartzsite.
Quartzsite for Quartzfest this week. Yep, and the fest
Quartzsite
is on
the
and
town.
Yes, Quartzsite,
Okay.
Arizona. Quartzfest is the ham fest.
It's the ham fest. But it's more than
Chris
just a ham fest too, right?
Chris, it's the government. The government thinks that we're going to steal state secrets, get a license, federally identify ourselves every 10 minutes, and share them with the Russians during the Cold War. The government hasn't realized that the Cold War is over and that it would be stupid for me to get a license and identify myself every 10 minutes while committing treason. So that's why we don't have those speeds.
Right.
I'm a little bitter.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I mean, we don't.
You do you, bro.
We don't condone violence, and this is not a, you do you, buddy.
Yeah. So I am using a massive battery from AllPowers. Let me see if I can get their. If you look at any of my AllPowers videos, you'll be able to get a nice discount link, I'm sure. But right now we're playing with Restream because we wanted to have some experimental topic to experiment with while we were here, and I just had no idea how good, bad, or indifferent this was going to be. So let me see. That's camera. So we're testing out new streaming software. We want to see how we look. I can see y'all can see us in the chat. So let's do screen share. And I don't want to screen share. I want to share a window, not a screen. So yes, no.
And Steve has all the controls. I don't have any juice in this since it's not our regular software.
Yeah.
So your comments will not be popping up on the screen as awesomely as they normally do. I'm just saying.
So I can't share the browser window that I'm currently streaming from, which is weird. So let me screen 1. I don't know what screen that is. There's nothing to share. Make sure the browser has permission. The browser does have permission. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I can't share the screen. You were able to share the screen, Jim.
I just hit plus, and then it gave me, let's see, screen share. And then it came up similar to StreamYard and gave me Brave tab, window, or entire screen.
Oh, because you're in Brave. I'm in Firefox. And
well, there you go.
Firefox has always had a problem with streaming software, though. Let's see.
I use Brave.
Happens. Yeah, well, we use Brave normally and it's weird because Brave is based on Chrome.
Yep.
But if you use Chrome for live streaming, it doesn't work as well as if you use Brave for live streaming.
Yes, it used to work, and then one day it didn't. Chrome would get to where it would select your camera, and that was, by God, the camera you're going to use, even if it's not connected or a real camera. If it's in your camera list, it's going to select the camera and won't let you change, which is kind of awkward because I have an overhead camera, for shooting stuff on the desk here. And then I have this one so you guys can see this awesomeness here. And it would decide it was going to shoot the overhead camera, and that was all it's going to shoot. And now I'm all by myself. Okay. So, oh, he's back. Okay. No audio, Chief.
Here we go. I muted myself. I joined the stream from Brave on the same computer that I was joined in from Firefox. And I thought if I left in Firefox that it might stop the stream. So I didn't want to do that. Anyway, in Brave, I can share screen. So it's definitely a Firefox bug. And that's a known issue with streaming software.
So you kept the Firefox connection up and then did the Brave one? Well, that's good to know. Okay.
But I could hear myself through both sources. So I had to mute the audio on one because I was hearing Jim in stereo, and that's kind of scaryo.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
So anyway, Jim, if you bring up the allpowers.com website.
Right.
And then the battery that I'm using is the R2500. My call sign is backwards. Yes, it is backwards. Thank you.
Okay, it's over there. I can't do anything with it, though.
I will get it in 1 second. I'm unmirroring my camera. And this is weird. So I'm just talking to Jim right now because nobody else can see this. Jim can't see it either. When I click on the thing that is shared out on your screen, because it's in grayscale, I click on it, and then I get a control panel, and then I have to add it. So it's like 3 clicks to do one thing.
Hey.
And it automatically switched that view to that for us.
Is there any chance you
can I what?
Is her French fries done?
Yeah, it's dinner. Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready. Hey, Chris, is there any chance you can upgrade my permissions?
Not until we pay for the package.
Oh.
And I'm cheap. So if you go to the
very cheap
portable power drop down on the top toolbar, you will see the R2500 is the 4th unit in the portable power drop down that you clicked past, or that way that works fine too. I hate how that does that.
That's the 3rd unit.
Yeah, because you missed a step, but that's okay. You went too far ahead. This is the power station that I'm running the stream off of right now.
So that is a 2016. So that's interesting. That is more than a 100 amp hour battery. 100 amp hour gives you 1240. So that's like a 200 amp hour battery in there.
Yeah.
Well, a little less, maybe 150. I'd have to math it.
I want to say it's 168, but we don't math on stream. Because this is a really interesting battery. This is a 48 volt battery pack, and it has a 30 amp RV plug on it that puts out 20 amps, and then it has 4 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, a cigarette lighter port, and I don't know what that other port is. Oh, it's got 2 DC barrel jack ports. And as long as I'm not using like the coffee maker, this thing will power my coffee maker at 1700 watts. It'll last for a while. Like I can run the coffee maker. I can run the wind is rocking the trailer. This is scary. I can run the microwave. I can run the air conditioner off of this one of those 3 things at a time. And that sucks the battery way down. But if I'm not using those things, then we can last for a long time. So I have a 100 amp hour battery on the tongue of the RV as the house battery. And it is, can I remove this screen now? I mean, yes is the answer, but there we go. And it is powering everything. So we left Saturday morning. It was 22 degrees when we were packing up camp, and the battery was still working, which is not good for a battery to be working in those conditions. And I was able to do everything that needed to be done. 6 hours on the road while the batteries.
Well.
Yeah, I just saw it got dropped. That was the wind. We went all night long with the heat on, which pulls 9 amps out or something like that to run the fan on the furnace to keep the place warm. Did I lose you, Jim?
No, I'm here.
Okay. And then the battery's still going today, more than 24 hours later. It's actually pretty slick. And then this one here, I charged a bunch of stuff off of, but I'm not even hitting the deck on this. It is showing 78% still remaining in the battery. So I don't know. It was too windy today for solar. I mean, I'm like worried that the trailer is going to fall over during the stream. So keep glued to the edge of your seat for that. Will it run the sump pump and the fridge? That was me.
Yes, I know it's you. I can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, you can't even highlight a comment?
No, I can't. I literally in nothing. I have guest powers, which is to say none.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So will it run the sump pump and the fridge? It will run a 20 amp, 120 volt device. So I think your sump pump's probably a 120 volt sump pump. So yes. Will it run the fridge? Yes, it will run the fridge. If I was in a grid down emergency situation, I would keep the refrigerator full of food. I would keep it closed at all times, and I would run the fridge for like an hour to chill it. And, you just don't open the fridge in an emergency.
Yeah. Yeah, the longer you keep it closed, the better it is.
Yeah, once they're full of cold stuff, they don't have much work to do anymore.
Right.
They're asking if you're ready for the snow.
I am. I mean, the forecast keeps revising around. We originally were 2 to 4 inches. Now we're down to like 1.5.
And then you'll have none.
But just imagine John Candy in front of the entrance to Wally World. Sorry, folks, the state is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Meemaw has declared a state of emergency for the southern half of the state. I don't know what that means exactly. State employees, their department heads have the authority to tell them they can stay home because of the weather. We're closed tomorrow. My boss has already pulled the trigger on that.
He doesn't want to drive in.
My daughters, I have many comments I could make, but I won't, because this may come back to haunt me someday. My daughter's school system warned us Friday they were going to, consult, and then they pulled the trigger yesterday morning. I got a phone call from the school system. They have an automated calling dingus and said they're closed tomorrow and Wednesday. So, I mean, and there's probably every school in 20 counties is closed. But I don't know that we're going to get snow or not yet. It's we're at the northern edge of the snow zone. So we might get snow in greater amounts or lesser amounts. But the thing is here, I grew up in the Chicago area. So every city in the area has hundreds of tons of salt, and they have snow plows, and it's a thing. And here in Alabama, there are no snow plows. There might be a couple above us with a pickup truck and a blade on the front that might get some money tomorrow, but no municipal snow plows, and there ain't no hundreds of tons of rock salt anywhere in this state. So the problem that we have here with snow, even a little bit, is it doesn't, and tomorrow is going to even be worse because it's already cold here. It's below freezing now. So what they're telling us is because everything is already going to be cold, the infrastructure, the roadways, everything is already going to be pre-chilled when the snow hits, because it ain't getting up to barely freezing tomorrow anyway. The snow is going to stick. So it's not going to be a typical snow where it hits, the road is above freezing, and it all runs off, and it's not really a big deal by lunchtime. This is apparently going to be a big deal. And it's actually, from what I've seen, it's going to be way worse in East Texas, all the way down to the south end of Texas. They're talking blizzard conditions for New Orleans, for crying out loud. So we all need to go check on Side Boom if you're in the New Orleans snow zone. He's somewhere down there. But yeah, it's going to be a big deal. They're talking about literally snow over the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of America. So
yes,
the Gulf of America, by Christ. So yeah, they're saying it's not going to stop snowing on the beach. There'll be snow falling in the ocean tonight, whenever it gets there. It's going to be a big deal. Our last snow was like in 2018. We were shut down for 2.5 days. But to my memory, there's not been snow over the Gulf of America since I've lived in the South, and I've been here 40 years now.
We've upset Ron. I think it's
Ron,
funny.
are
I
you
don't remember
triggered, buddy?
I don't remember any stink at all when Obama renamed that mountain in Alaska.
From McKinley to Denali, when it's been McKinley
Yeah.
for like 100 years since McKinley was assassinated by Guiteau in whenever
Yeah.
that happened, early 1900s.
So it's okay when somebody else does it, just never Trump.
Yeah. Yep. Ham radio too, Mike, right? You got boned on that one, son. You moved to the South to get away from the crap, and you're in the middle of basically a winter crap storm. Yes.
So, Jim, you said there was a giveaway tool here. Can we give away nothing and see what that looks like?
I can't do it.
How do I find it?
Dude, when we didn't use this for car, I quit looking at it. I hadn't been in it in forever. I have no idea.
I don't think we ever tried this one for car. There was
No,
a
we
different one
didn't.
that we tried for car.
No, we never did. This was the one we were going to use, but someone didn't want to use it. And so we never
we
did.
had to pay for it in order to
No, because I never
it.
paid for it. I never paid for it. It's one of those tools up on the left side of your screen. There should be a drop down with tools up there.
I have add scene.
Let me, you know what?
And
let
then
me
on
log
the right
into,
side.
Let me log into my
Because this is
account.
different than the last one that I demoed, which is why I'm demoing this one, because we already did that one.
Maybe this isn't the one I used then. I was pretty positive this was the one I used.
So I'm reading on Restream's website. It tells me why I would like to do it. How about let's actually tell me how to do it?
Yep, this is the one I used. Okay, so you should have an invite members on the left side. I logged in with my Google account. That's how I signed up for it. Email settings.
Gotta give away something. Well, John, let me know what you'd like us to give away. I'm going to be a week away from shipping and most of society and humanity.
And probably a bathtub. Well,
no, I bring one with me.
But you got, it's kind of
I'm
like
not going to use it. But
it's kind of like a deal though to get to restock your water though, right?
We should have enough to last us the entire week. We should have enough everything to last us the entire week that we're planning on being here. Restream's Game Changer giveaway. No, that's them giving away something. That's not using the giveaway tool.
Hang on, I've got to do a little setup. Trying to find the right damn time zone.
1 damn minute, Admiral.
Exactly.
It's movie quote time. Ooh.
There it is.
An NFT. No shipping necessary.
Okay.
I don't know if as the host, I don't know if I can give away memberships, and that would be a YouTube thing anyway. I'd have to log into YouTube and then do the giveaway. I'll have to try that later. Embed stream, duplicate, past streams, channels.
I am not seeing an option for it. Maybe I did play with this, but we liked the other one better, but I don't remember what the other one was.
Yeah.
Because I don't see anything here. Workspaces, past streams, video storage, 2 channels. Yeah, there's nothing here. Analytics.
DuckDuckGo, people, if you're watching, and I know you are, if it's the first word in my search query, it must be in the page, whether I put it in quotes or not.
I don't see any way to do it. Oh. Don gifted 5 TO memberships.
Thank you, Don.
And those were given out to Jeff Wingett, IPA a lot, IPA a lot,
Yeah.
Paul Sturm, Peter
There's 2 A's
O,
in that?
and the charming and delightful Mrs. Kathy Thompson.
Oh, Kathy's a member. Welcome. She's here. So I'll have to like go shake her hand and give her a hug and tell her
She just
thank
wants
you
to keep up with what the heck Charles is up to.
after the show. I don't think he's there.
Well, she's probably happy then because it's quiet.
Right? I am not finding a giveaway tool. I mean, I'm sure there's another tool that I can use, like some website plugin, but Streamyard did make that easy.
Yeah, I don't see any way to do it. Did you have a code for AllPowers? Because I just posted the link to what we were looking at.
Let me go look on one of my videos about AllPowers.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna rant a little bit or rail or start a discussion.
You?
We'll go with that.
No.
Usually it's the other guy. You know, the one in Nebraska.
There's a 10% off discount code of temporarily offline. So
temporarily offline, folks. If you go to the AllPowers to buy that thing, that'll save you $96. It's almost $100 off the price of that thing. So, you guys know, most of you know, I'm into 3D printing a lot. And I have one Bamboo machine. I have an A1 Mini. It's the only Bamboo I have. Bamboo, in my opinion, jumped the shark in the past few days. Bonus points if you know where that actually comes from, that reference. So, most of you are old enough to know. So, they have announced that they're going to start implementing...
Might have seen it during its original debut.
Right, I did. They have implemented what I'm pretty much considering DRM circa 1989. They are changing the firmware on their machines so that no third party software can talk to a Bamboo printer without using this piece of middleware they're calling Bamboo Connect. So if you're only using Bamboo and if you only use Bamboo Studio, their slicer, it doesn't really affect you. Personally, I don't care because I use Bamboo Studio for that one printer just because it's already hardwired together. But I mean, the 3D printing community is aghast, agog, kerfluffled, vexed about it. Because a lot of people use something like Orca Slicer, which is a wonderful slicer that Bamboo Studio is based on Prusa Slicer, Orca Slicer. They're all first cousins like NXDN, DMR, P25. So you could, up until they implement this, use Orca Slicer to slice your files for your Bamboo machines, whether it's a X1 Carbon, a P1S, P1P, A1, A1 Mini. But after they implement this, you can't, at least until Orca Slicer kisses the ring at Bamboo and they come to some sort of agreement. And from what I've seen so far, Bamboo expects Orca Slicer to make that overture because they don't care. It's kind of crappy. Again, I only have one Bamboo printer. I don't run a print farm. So it doesn't really affect me. But it feels like, and if any of you ever had software with DRM on it, right? You used to have a Commodore 64. Every game in the world had some sort of DRM thing that had a specific sector written on the floppy disk that would make the drive ratchet while it checked if you had a legitimate copy. And that was in the PC world too. Or dongles, stuff like that. And essentially, Bamboo is implementing a software dongle. And I think it's just kind of shitty. I think they screwed the pooch. So, I don't know if any of you guys are Bamboo people, and it's a lot harder for me to keep up with comments tonight because I can't highlight anything. Right, Ken, I saw that. Apparently their keys have hit the dark web. That is, they've issued a statement denying that they're locking people out. I don't know. I hadn't seen that yet. But what they're saying, and what is on their website, and if it's updated, I have not seen it, so full disclosure. What they were saying is, unless you use Bamboo Connect, you cannot do anything with the printer. Like you can't send it a file. You can't change print settings on the fly. You can't adjust it. You can't stop it. You have to take your SD card like a OG 2016 3D printer gangster and walk over and stick it in the machine. And that is one of the huge selling features of any modern 3D printers, that they're all Wi-Fi and or wired networkable. So they're killing that functionality if you don't use their Bamboo Connect thing. And they're implementing that next week on the X1 carbons that have the right firmware. And the concern, and Chris Bricker, you actually hit one of the concerns that a lot of people have. There are 3D printed out there. Not legit ones, they're just models. But at what point does Bamboo start deciding that they don't want you to print something that doesn't follow their politics? Or that potentially the Chinese government tells them they have to not allow you to print? So that's kind of where we are. If you think that's kind of crazy, the photocopy industry, the most expensive photocopier you can ever touch that does full color, will not copy a $1 bill. Won't copy any money. You'll get crap. And I've heard that some of them call the mothership and tell them, hey, this fool is trying to copy money. But you cannot copy money on photocopiers. Doesn't matter how good it is, you'll never get a copy that's even close to the truth. Because it's technically illegal anyway.
That's scary.
The photocopier industry drank the Kool-Aid from the U.S. government. I'm not making this up. This isn't some black helicopter thing. This is facts. And I believe 3D color printers also, not 3D color printers, color printers also detect that sort of thing and will not print anything that resembles U.S. currency. So, I don't know. You know, I don't run a print farm. It's not even my main printer, really. If I had to get rid of a printer today, I'd give it to my daughter and she'd be perfectly happy putting SD cards in it. And if you use Bamboo Studio, no fosh, no problem.
So you can run it completely offline with SD cards?
Yes, you can. Manually, like an Ender 3 V2, like a gangster. Okay. You don't lose your functionality, but you lose all the online functionality. And again, once you get this firmware update, and the word has also been that they may force you to upgrade to the firmware that locks it down by not letting it print or just refusing to use Bamboo Studio. So even if you don't take the firmware upgrade that does the lockdown thing, at some point they may just lock it down anyway. I don't know. They may just block it from working. There's a whole lot of FUD going around. If there's any updates, I haven't seen them yet. Jody, I saw that you posted some update in Discord. I haven't looked at it yet. But I think they were stupid. They make great printers. The printer's awesome. I mean, I have the low-end Bamboo, and the thing, I've been trying to get T.O. to buy one because they're really good 3D printers.
I like the A1 Mini, but...
That's the one I'm trying to get you to buy. But now I'd be like, I
thought the print quality was pretty good. You know, bang for the buck wise.
Pretty good. And, you know, several people have said you don't have to update the firmware. That's true, you don't. And I'm going to see how long I can use it without updating the firmware because I like to fight the power. But at what point will Bamboo Studio quit working with unupdated printers? So it might mean that you can't download any more updates. When they add features, you're going to have to update the firmware if you want those features or those bug fixes. So you're kind of screwed either way. I don't know.
Okay. So I found Nightbot, and you guys have probably seen Nightbot in other live streams before. And I got it connected to the channel, but it connected to one of my other channels and not this one. So I had to fuss with it a little bit while Jim was ranting about...
I'm just sharing the news with the people.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things that a lot of people bitched about Bamboo when they dropped in the market a couple years ago was that Bamboo is a closed ecosystem. They're not an open source printer. They are not open source. And the open source social justice warriors are offended by that greatly. I could care less as long as it works and does the thing, whatever that thing may be. But that's the problem when you have something like this that's not open source, because the company can do what the company wants. They may shoot their own foot off. I mean, that's happened to plenty of companies. Happened to a lot of TV shows too. But you have, on the other end, you have other printers that are open source. So if that's something that concerns you, you don't really want a Bamboo at this point, because they're still not open source, and now they're kind of screwing the pooch, in my opinion. It's not a rant. I'm just sharing information. I am not ranting.
You actually said it was going to be a rant. So,
Well, no spit flew from my mouth, I don't think.
Well, we're not done yet. I mean, I'm not heckling you back, so it's been a lightweight rant. I've been busy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want a printer that's connected to the cloud that then watches what I print and then tells somebody, or can tell somebody. I mean, I already have this thing here that the government snoops in on. Right. Legally, by the way. I mean, they use your tax dollars to pay for that ability. They're not doing anything illegal.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Chris. See, good info. Thank you, Eamon,
for being on your side. Yeah.
Bunch of people. Well, no, thank you. I'm just presenting the information. There's a lot of bad parts to it. And DRM, guys, and I don't know if DRM, Digital Rights Management, was huge in the 80s. I mean, from the Commodore 64 days on, probably through the late 90s.
The Apple Lisa was completely locked down.
What software?
The Apple Lisa, the computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you had programs you would pay a pretty penny for that you had to continually... I mean, I've seen programs you had to have a physical dongle plugged in that you could use it. Didn't matter that you paid thousands of dollars for this software. You had to plug in this dingus, or the program wouldn't work. Or you could only use it on one specific computer, right? So if you had like a computer at your house and a computer at work, 2 different licenses. You had to buy it again for the other computer at work. And it just... a lot of companies dropped it. But now, I don't know. Now you could argue they're going to the subscription model, like Adobe has, where you can't buy the software, you just license its use annually or monthly. And John Deere, prime example. Very good point, Rick. Very good point. Mm-hmm. Those tractors, I don't know what a tractor costs. My brother-in-law has the tractors.
They're ridiculous.
But they have their guts so locked down that they're impossible to repair unless you go to an authorized John Deere dealer.
Not only that, but if you bought the 2012 model with the GPS row cropping option, and you bought the 2013 model, the 2012 GPS module will not plug into the 2013 GPS controlled tractor. And I get that technology advances, but I mean, from one model year to the next, come on, John Deere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really think... I mean, if you follow a lot of 3D printing channels, which I do, the 3D printing community is pissed off. And I mean, and I've seen people in our Discord, Bamboo is dead to them. Now, where I run in a print farm full of Bamboo printers, that's a hell of an investment. What are you going to do? But I don't know. I mean, I'm not throwing away my A1, and it's not a production machine. So
yeah, I mean, if you already own it, that's a hard call.
I'm not gonna upgrade the firmware for as long as I can, just to see what I can get away with. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Bamboo reneges on their announcement, and they back off of that. I got some.
Well, they said in the chat that they're already denying it.
Developer mode. This is on All3DP. Let's see. And of course, and this is also, now I'm going to rant a tiny bit here. It pisses me off because this is essential security updates because machines have been remotely controlled. Who gives a crap? It's a 3D printer. And honestly, if your 3D printer is exposed to the internet, you're a complete idiot.
Well, the routers have UPnP turned on by default, so it exposes itself. It says, "Can I expose myself?"
Yeah.
And the router's like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Oh, at the time, Bamboo
Yep.
said users who prefer not to transition may remain on older firmware indefinitely. The company has decided to soften that stance as it now plans to offer an additional option in developer mode, a LAN mode exclusive setting that enables an MQTT channel, live stream, and FTP, ostensibly allowing a path for existing control functions in third-party software. And for me, that would be fine because I only use mine in LAN mode anyway. I mean, I have a VPN from the office, which is the only other place I 3D print from. So that's basically LAN mode. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Are you in the YouTube chat, Jim?
Yes, the official YouTube chat.
Can you type in the word nothing with a capital N, please?
I wondered why you were typing that over and over.
The nothing. Oh, finally. I am not allowed to enter my own giveaway. That's rude. Here I am testing this thing away quietly behind the scenes, wondering why it's not working. I have one entry. Jim is the entry.
Woo, I win.
Well, now we've got Ken in and Sean in. Okay, so now I know why it wasn't working. And I can't share the screen out.
No, Chris Bricker, this is not turned into Clubhouse because Izzo has not ranted. Something. We're testing the software. I'm sharing technical information with my 3D printing amigos out here. I mean, I've been in the IT business all my life, and DRM is just a bad idea and always has been.
So this Nightbot giveaway tool is better than Streamyard's giveaway tool, and Nightbot is not Restream as far as I know.
Okay.
I can do a keyword giveaway, which is what I'm doing. And viewers can enter the giveaway 1 time or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, up to 10 times, or not at all. Regulars can enter the giveaway. I don't know how it knows you're a regular or not because it's the first time we've ever done it. Channel members, so I can do channel members can get 10 entries more than regular viewers. So if you're a channel member, that's a perk. And moderators can or cannot enter the giveaway, or moderators get extra giveaway entries. So that's nice. And then anti-spam, exclude users who attempt to enter multiple times. Unique winners.
That's you.
Yeah.
And this will exclude you are. I'm talking to you.
Users who have already won this session. Oh, that's cool. So I'm going to draw, and I can't share the screen out because I'm in Firefox and I don't want to end the stream. I'm going to choose a winner, and it's choosing. And
why can't you share it?
That was because I'm in Firefox and we had this conversation already.
I thought you stayed in Brave after you made your determination.
No, because I'm afraid I would have to. If I left Firefox, I'm afraid the stream would end. So I can do that towards the end, but I didn't want to do it, 2 minutes into an hour-long live stream. So it very quickly and with very little fanfare picked Wayne, W5WNR. Congratulations, Wayne. You have won nothing.
Did he win a Toyota?
I can re-roll. Yes, that he prints on his own Bamboo 3D printer as long as the DRM doesn't get sued by Disney and says that you can't do it anymore. Blue Boy has won the second nothing. Chris Bricker has won the third nothing with it's like it's getting less and less fanfare as we go by.
Andy Cowley is a member for 48 months.
Wow. Awesome.
Thank you, Andy Cowley.
Andy's been here since the beginning.
Sounds like it. And Scott, Ham Till It Hurts, has been a member for 6 months. Thanks, Scott Prish.
6 months. So I did something during this. I get to define who regulars are. Excellent. So we got to play with Nightbot a little bit too. I did something during this live stream where I connected something else to my headset, and now your audio is a little lagged, and it's on my side, Jim. I don't think it has anything to do with the stream viewers. And you have just the tiniest amount of reverb.
Okay.
Tribute to Banksy. If you guys know who Banksy is. So the reason why the comment was going crazy, when I click on a comment, so first I hover over the comment and it changes and says show, so I can no longer see it myself. So like, am I on the right one or not? And then I click on it and it takes seconds. And then it shows up on the screen, which is why I thought you were clicking it off while I was clicking it on, and then I was basically doing it all by myself.
No, I got nothing. That was all you. When I'm hovering over Jody's comment right now, and I can't do anything with it. I got nothing.
Don really wants to talk about the 915 megahertz band.
Don, you would know more than I would. I'm not in big telecom.
What is the 900 band, 900 megahertz band on ham radio?
Is that not
never used it.
Mesh-tastic? Is that not Mesh-tastic?
It depends on which country you're in, and I don't think 900, unless it includes, I think it's like 860 is the low end for Mesh-tastic, unless the 900 band dips down that far.
I don't know. I could pull up the ARL band chart. That would be
It's
the only
not
place.
in there.
Okay, then I'm out.
Yeah,
I know
because there's a whole bunch of bands above 1.2 gigahertz.
Don said it is Mesh-tastic. And Ron said ATV uses 900. Ron, what is ATV?
Amateur television.
Oh, yeah.
Television.
Okay.
Not slow scan, real.
Yeah.
The 33 centimeter band.
Yep.
So it's 902 to 928. So 915 is in the range. But in that 900 megahertz range, there is a license-free segment as well.
And I know up in 900, and I think fairly close to that, is also business band.
And then there's 800, which used to be police. I think they got out of that a lot of places.
800? No. P25 is 800. And
still? Okay.
Yeah. At least here it is. 854 to 858. I mean, that scanner I bought only does the 800 megahertz band on P25. And I know Orlando PD, Walt Disney PD, Orlando Fire, whatever county that is, Fire, Dayton, they're all on 800 megahertz P25 systems. You remember when we were at Dayton last year, I had the scanner on sitting on the table and I was listening to Dayton Fire?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was all 800 megahertz. Yeah, Sean, this county is 854-ish to 858, somewhere in there. I can't remember the whole range they use. Of course, it's channelized, for the P25 system, but that's all controlled by the P25 data center piece. Yeah, ADHD said Atlanta's 800 too. Snohomish uses 800. Hank said they're on 800 up there. And then somebody said ISM is unlicensed in the 900 megahertz range.
Yeah. So the 900 megahertz range, it used to be the old cordless phones were in the 900 megahertz range because there's unlicensed spectrum.
Yeah.
And
yes.
The reference I'm looking at right now is completely wrong. 1400 to 14350 can be used without a license. That's a lie. It's also saying that 40 meters is 5 megahertz, which I think is 60 meters, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. 5.3 something.
Yeah. Motorola unlicensed.
Mark said once you get over 929 to 932, you enter POCSAG land, which is pagers.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of unlicensed frequencies. And there's a bunch of unlicensed frequencies you can use encryption on, like, say, 2.4 gigahertz, which is your Wi-Fi band that you're all using encryption on right now to watch the stream, I'm sure.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Interesting.
So let me see. I'm going to try Crud. I'm kind of scared. Let me see if I can go over to Brave again, and if I can go to Restream and sign in.
Oh, we have. I apparently start up. There's a lot of comments in Nuggets already about the bamboo stuff and how to copy money. Not how to copy it, that it doesn't work. Because we're not copying money, okay? Nobody's doing that.
No.
But they also have holograms on that stuff now too, and security threads and the little stripe in it.
So one thing, I don't know if you've seen this before about Restream, but this is the private chat, Jim, and it sucks.
Yeah, I saw it.
Pops right up over top of the stream.
And there's already a wiki on how to reverse engineer Bamboo Connect. I love the internet. Let's see.
I didn't want to say that live on stream.
What? Oh.
What I put in the private chat.
Yes, right. Right.
Okay. So I can enter the studio on Brave now that I'm logged in. Because I actually do want to play with something Nugget style, but I'm scared.
Well, there's quite a Darklight is sharing us Australian stuff, and
Jim, look at the screen.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hi, Chuck.
Hey, is Gendron there?
Is Gendron here? Is John Gendron in the chat? Have you seen John?
I haven't seen him. I have not seen him.
I don't see him.
I just want to make sure John knows that I gave this to T.O.
Oh, we've got video.
I got video proof. And it's just, I'm sitting over there listening to Jim rant.
Yeah.
Just get off your chair, go put the thing in the thing, and just forget the YouTube computer, dude. You don't have to hook your printer.
So just because you're stuck in 1983 doesn't mean the rest of us are, buddy.
God, don't be lazy. I can't hear you, Jim. Sorry.
No.
Thank God.
Jim's just yelling at Chuck.
Tell that.
All right, Jim, this might be all you in a second.
Okay. Oh, I guess it is me. And I can't highlight comments or do anything.
I'm back.
We're back. Not just you.
I can't hear you either.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Okay.
Try something different tonight.
Yeah. Figures.
Chuck will help you.
Do I have that microphone? I have that camera. I have volume. Weird.
Is Chuck drunk?
I can't hear a word you're saying, Jim.
That's good for you, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You're lucky now you can't hear Jim.
Tab is using your microphone.
No, Don says they hear both of us.
Can I hear you now?
Okay.
No.
Huh.
This doesn't work any better.
Yeah, that's because T.O.'s mic is working, and T.O., I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Now I can hear you. I switched away from my headset to the speakers, which I couldn't hear you on. Then I switched back to my headset. Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
John sent me a gift. John, this better be appropriate to open on stream.
Kathy Thompson, thank you. Take him back, though.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, indeed. Me and Chuck got those. Oh no, me and Abe. I guess Chuck's got one too. I have mine. I have one. I was drinking out of it on Christmas.
Thank you, John. I don't think we could see it very well on the stream. Okay, so I came over here because I wanted to try and share the screen out. So let me see if I can share the screen out now.
Yeah, Bamboo can hear you too. Yes, they probably can. The Amazon device is feeding them.
Chuck and I were talking about something, and now my browser ads are full of what Chuck and I were talking about.
Oh my gosh. Kathy said, no, he belongs to us now. Kathy, I don't even want a refund. You could just have him back.
That just went straight to the sharing of the screen.
Yes, and you're gone.
There we are. Okay.
Okay.
That's worse.
It's terrible. That's not optimal. That's better.
And we can be down below.
So interesting comment, Chris. We have the Chris Army is in this chat, and I appreciate every one of them. The stream looks more HD for both of you.
See, that's what I was telling you, Jim. This is why I was not happy with Streamyard, because we're paying for the full HD experience on Streamyard, and we're getting the full potato out of it.
I don't know, but is this a double blind? I mean, have we bitched about this before on stream specifically? Have we set their expectations? Is this confirmation bias?
Well, these are ham, so of course it's confirmation bias.
Well, that's I'm saying, you know, but several people say we're looking pretty good. Chris Bricker, we don't use OBS because we can't use OBS to stream 4 of us. I think we can use OBS for me to stream on my channel, and I think I can bring in a guest. But if we cannot use OBS to stream all 4 of us on car. Now, what Jason does, which
is complicated,
we could do, but he's using Zoom. He's streaming, I think, through OBS, and then he's bringing in the Zoom stream as his guest. Is my guess of how he's doing that.
Yeah.
And
so I
works.
used to do it
It's
that
okay.
way before. So I would send you a Zoom link. You would log into Zoom. I would screen capture the screen that showed the Zoom window, and then I would desktop internally capture the audio from Zoom inside of the computer and then restream that out through OBS. And it became very demanding on my computer because every player on the stream would need to come to me full video, and then I would need to take that video and send it back out to YouTube to send it all to you guys. In StreamYard, Jim's video goes to the cloud to you. My video goes to the cloud to you. And because Jim's video is in the cloud, I can see it here. But if Jim disappears, then, you know, it's not taking up any more of my bandwidth. So it's supposed to be a little bit better.
And
okay,
I mean, right now we are using the free version because cheap. So it's only, it's only 720. But I mean, honestly, we're still ugly in 1080. It doesn't get any better. Okay, as L. Watson, yes, that is correct. We look clearer, but we still don't look that great. Correct.
I used to like you.
All
right.
And I don't remember about the price. It's comparable to StreamYard. There was another one we looked at, though. I got to figure out what that one was because it had all the cool stuff. Oh, you hated it?
Yeah, but it had a bunch of cool features in it, but like the StreamYard still had better interfacing options.
Okay.
I don't know why I moved that, but that's okay.
Chris Andrews, exactly right. A face for radio and a voice for silent film.
Nice. All these people I used to like.
Well, I have started quite the chat going in nuggets about the money sitch and copying it and all that. Chris is throwing a lot of Australian information in there, and they're apparently doing a deep dive on that. So is Scott. Scott sent me a 1207B MFJ TNC.
That's the SDR switch thing? Oh, no, that's the TNC.
No, that's the TNC. So Scott, we have not forgotten about it. It's going to be on the show. We might do a giveaway. Who knows? So, but thank you, Scott, for sending it. I mean, he likes us because he sent it all the way from Australia and he paid the postage on it.
That's a prolific. I wonder if I can do a prolific in Windows 11 without the driver.
I don't know. Yes, Don, 70. Pushing 70.
So this is the LED mini badge thing that we had looked at before that I got free from that one Hamfest. And one of y'all awesome people sent in the software that might work with this.
Dan mentioned Jitsi Meat. Other Andy dropped a $5 super chat. I got to watch the actual YouTube screen here.
Thank you, Andy.
Let's see.
Yeah, because the one inside of Restream stopped scrolling.
Yeah, it scrolls.
Yes,
up.
I have Windows.
You have to scroll to the top to see the chats. It's very weird how it works. Other Andy has dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you, Other Andy. And I think Jody has been a member for 23 months, which I think we did
Jody,
mention.
Thank you to everybody. That is USB-C.
Yeah, you guys are typing in YouTube, and we're getting that information. The thing that's different right now is that, first of all, I don't have any admin privileges, so I can't do anything with your comments, which are also showing up here in the back end in Restream. I've got moderator privileges in the YouTube chat, but your YouTube stuff is showing up. It doesn't highlight it in Restream like it does in the YouTube chat. It's kind of weird. Jitsi Meet is free Zoom. We'll have to try that. The thing with some of those is I'm not watching on YouTube, Sean. I'm watching in Restream, reading your comments in a separate YouTube popped out chat. There is some lag in here. There's no way around it. The thing with the free stuff, guys, which if you're a member of CAR, we talked about this a long time ago on one of our members meetings. The free software like Google Meet and a lot of that stuff limits you to how long you can use it for unless you pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And also, Restream has some specific streaming features, Streamyard specific streaming features, and whatever the hell the other one is that I can't remember that we played with, apparently. Cooley, you can print that thing, but you can't print the boomy part. You got to have, that's got to be metal. So the whole thing about you can 3D print a boomer is
The barrel.
is disingenuous bullshit. I'm just going to call it for what it is. You can't 3D print the receiver, the barrel, any of that. Not with a home 3D printer. That has to be made out of metal, at least sintered. So you need a hell of a lot more complicated machine than something you get from bamboo. Now, there are models of pew-pews all over the 3D printing websites, but they're non-functional. At most, they click or something. That's about it. But 3D printed ghost guns are mostly crap. You still have to get a barrel. Where you can get around it, not that I'm advocating this, is a barrel is not a gun, so it is not got a serial number. If you can 3D print the rest of it, you could technically have a ghost gun, and it's not illegal to make your own gun. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a 2A lawyer. I'm a 2A advocate. Don't take that as legal advice, and it certainly does not represent the views of the management of this YouTube channel.
It's not illegal to make your own firearm, by the way.
No, it's not.
Now, you can't sell it, and you can't transfer it.
It is not transferable. That is correct.
But you can make it. And trying to make that illegal would be ignorant. Now, here's where it gets really weird. And because it would be ignorant to do it because most people who do like plumbing, for example, have 100% of the parts to make a shotgun in their garage right now.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you police something like that? You can't. But where it gets even more interesting is if you try to make a NFA item by just having the parts laying on a bench somewhere and never assembling them, you've already committed the crime of owning an NFA item without having a tax stamp.
Right. There is a specific NFA item that you could literally buy the parts on Amazon and manufacture by drilling a hole in those parts in your basement.
Oh, what do they call it? The solvent trap.
I wasn't even going to say that. I was trying to keep this from getting.
That's not the illegal item. That's just the word for the thing that you buy that you can then make the illegal item.
Or fuel
which
filter.
You can get at Walmart.
Fuel filter. That's the other one.
Yeah.
And if you go on Amazon and you search for fuel filters, you should be able to figure this out if you have any idea what we're talking about. So, yeah, just don't drill the no-no hole.
So I'm trying to get this badge to be recognized, and it's not showing up at all. I don't show any COM ports because I don't have any on this computer until I plug one in over USB. And I don't I don't even know where my data cable connector is. Yes, you are correct, Eric. Do not buy those. My USB cable tester thing. I don't know where it is.
Your Treatix?
Yeah. I don't know if I even brought it with me.
Ruh-roh. Freedom Seed Dispenser, long distance hole punch. L. Watson, again, I'm not a lawyer, but since it's not transferable, you get into a weird legal situation. If you have a trust, I think any member of the trust would be legal to have possession of the item, I believe, when you manufacture it, if it's owned by the trust. So if your spouse is a member of the trust...
Where does it go when you die?
Well, yeah, what happens to your homemade boomer when you die? Because your wife wouldn't be legal to have it because that's a transfer, I think. This is really a weird area.
Yeah, we're not lawyers.
We seen Law and Order and shit like that, but that's about it. So, you know.
I can barely find a functioning USB cable, folks. Don't take legal advice from me.
Right.
And you don't pay me enough to be your lawyer anyway.
Jody, you're killing me. That's great. That's a great comment. I wish I could highlight it.
What did he say?
When Jim
hasn't shown up.
When Jim goes to Napa for an oil filter, he lists his vehicle as compatible with any filter with wherever the hell it went. 1/2 by 28 threads. Yeah.
Yeah. Trump's going to disband the ATF. Yep.
Lord, I hope so. Right, Eamon? Believe me, you are this guy and this guy shall not be infringed doesn't seem to be very equivocal. Sean, I hope they do. And personally, Brandon Herrera ought to be the ATF director.
Well, you can't be a director of a department that doesn't exist.
He'd be the one to shut it down, though. I don't
Show
know.
up for day one, send everybody home, problem solved.
Right.
Well, this is uneventful. All right. I need to grab some cables from the other room.
Okay. Yeah, geekiest guy. I've heard stories that people who buy solvent traps a lot get visits. So I've never bought a solvent trap and probably never will.
I don't have any need for it.
You know, whatever.
I mean, if you do, you do. That's fine. I'm not saying that nobody has a need for it.
I mean, personally, I think it's like having a giggle switch. I've shot plenty of them when I was in the military, but I wasn't paying for the ammunition. So, you know, I have a friend who has not a select fire, that's the wrong word, a forced reset trigger. And, you know, whatever. You can spew lead down range faster, but I don't know that it's a useful thing. I would posit that anybody who's... I would rather have a semi-automatic rifle where I can place fire if I had to use it in a situation where I had to place fire. So, full rock and roll is great for an M249, but I think it's kind of useless on a personal weapon.
It's fun, but I wouldn't think it would be self-defense.
Right.
But
I think you'd have a hard time.
Shall not be infringed.
Right. I think you'd have a hard time talking your way out of court with a giggle switch on your boomstick if you were in a shooting situation. Right, geeky. I mean, yeah. The last time I shot anything that on rock and roll was I rented a P90, a real P90, a Stargate level P90 from the gun range. and blew through about $400 or $500 between gun rental and ammo that I had to buy from the range. And, you know, it was fun. But then
Should have
after I
told
was
me
over,
that it was a non-compliant device.
after it was
And
over
it was-
with, I was like,
I think it was already in there.
right, Scott? Exactly. Jody, one of the greatest sci-fi TV shows ever, and when it added Claudia Black, it got even better. Even though they kind of jumped the shark a few episodes before.
So I already have the prolific driver installed, so it's a bad cable problem, and I don't think I brought any micro USB data cables with me. Unless I actually bought some for another project, but I bought them for power purposes. Lights, cables. This is what happens when you have future projects coming up.
Right.
This may be.
Jason Connolly, it's not really a devil's advocate question because the government says so to keep you on the right side of the law. There's no other reason for it. It's a government thing. I think it's stupid. And the pisser about the whole license thing, and I don't want to get into a whole anti-government screed. We've already been ranting enough tonight, off topic. But
Yay!
Well, I don't want to get T.O. cranked up because...
Oh, I get real cranky.
Yes, he does. It is what it is. Deal with it or not. What bothers me more about all this than getting a license to do ham is that their enforcement is very, very spotty and lackadaisical at best. And if you don't believe me, go tune into 14310 when that pissed off Canadian gets on there and drops MFs constantly. Or on 7200 when whatever psychopaths are down there are yakking. You know, or 80 meters on almost any night. You know, we're not supposed to swear on the air. We're not supposed to get racial or anything else. Yet people do it all the time. And they're interfering. I'm not even talking about the swearing part. They're just flat out interfering with traffic. But yet they're still there. So it is what it is. Got to put a license on your car. Got to have a license to drive.
I don't see a way to read from the device, and I don't see a serial port inside of Device Manager. I hear it beep when I unplug and plug it in, but I don't see like serial ports in Device Manager. USB mass storage device.
And Chris Robinson, the same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the planet. It's not a very good brain impression.
No.
The best I got. Pinky.
So that is... Yeah, that is very weird. See, I unplugged it and I heard the doo-doo sound. And the device goes dark. So I plug it back in and I hear the doo-doo sound. And I see the Device Manager blink. I don't know. I think we actually saw that this thing popped up in a Linux machine last week.
I believe we did.
Not last week, like a month or two ago.
Yeah, a while back, yeah.
So it's weird that Windows hears it, but Windows doesn't show that it's working or failed to work. And then this software is interesting how it's got the the Aqua theme from Mac OS from
Mm-hmm.
1999,
Way back.
but they don't have a Mac program. Can't find the sign by auto detect mode. Please choose a COM port and try again. I don't have any COM ports to choose from. Of course you can't open it. Yeah, that's fruitless. Close. I mean, it looks pretty, but it doesn't work.
Is that Bluetooth and not serial? The one I have is Bluetooth.
No, this is ancient.
Okay.
Let me unshare the screen. How do we do that over here? Turn that off.
Click the three dots, remove it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the badge itself, and you can see your reflection in the screen. And then on the side, it has no light to see it, a micro USB port and an on-off switch.
That's the one I have. It looks like it.
And I can turn it on, and it says the battery's not healthy. And then it shows the call of the ham that I got it from, Jim, 87KT.
I'm trying to remember where mine is at. I think
and then
it's
the box
at
is
work.
equally 1980s.
Yeah.
And yeah, because when we plugged this thing into the Linux computer, it said it was an STM32 inside.
I think mine is an STM32. I still have to learn how to program that one I got, that e-ink one.
The Pi Moroni one?
Yeah. TO under device view, show hidden devices.
Let me put that back out there. Okay, now let me plug it in again.
I'm also going to have to take a break because I have the ape disease.
Well, we got like 10 minutes left.
Okay, I can probably hold it that long.
All right, it's plugged in, and you saw Device Manager did its enumeration of devices, and nothing has shown up.
Did you look under Bluetooth devices? Because I think that's Bluetooth, dude. That's the same one I have. Mine is Bluetooth. I think that
if it is Bluetooth, there's no button for pairing.
Press and hold.
Press and hold.
Or go in your phone. Go in your phone and scan for Bluetooth devices.
So it's telling me that these are grayed out. Currently, it's not connected. Currently, it's not connected. Currently, it's not connected. Currently, it's not connected. I'm saying on the badge, there's no way to initiate.
Okay, go to your phone and turn on Bluetooth scanning and see if it shows up.
Even though there's no indication that it's Bluetooth, you're just hoping.
I'm 99% positive it's Bluetooth, old man. And you might have to, yeah, Chris is saying, and I agree with Chris, you may have to power cycle it while you're in Bluetooth scanning, because I'm almost positive mine is the same badge.
Okay, so let me get rid of this screen.
And embiggen yourself. I can't do that, so. There you go.
So there's the list of available devices. You can see the 4 at the bottom. Motorhome R something, DWC something, JL something. And which button on the badge would you like me to press? The brightness button?
Are there 2 buttons on that badge?
There are 2 buttons on the back. One of them shows you your brightness choice, which I pressed for you.
Is one power?
And then the other one, the power button's on the side, and it's an on-off only switch.
What is on the back of that?
So this one here is brightness, and this one here is pick your message.
I think turn it off and turn it on is what Chris is saying. I think that's Bluetooth. Yeah. I know it's Bluetooth.
So that's the brightness button.
Press your on-off button and hold it. Turn it
Hold the
off.
brightness button.
No,
off.
leave the brightness button alone. Now press and hold the power button. Press and hold.
It's not a press button. It's a slide switch.
Jody, is that a Bluetooth one that you're using? Spot LED? Where is mine? I think mine is in my desk at work.
I'm telling you, this is old.
Okay.
I mean, the micro USB port on the side should have given that away.
I think the one I have has a micro USB port, honestly. Try holding one of the buttons when you turn it on. Your brightness button or the other button. It's going to be a button combo, I'm sure. Jody says it's Bluetooth too. And he's smarter than I am.
Okay, so I'm holding the brightness button and I'm turning it on. And it slipped. Turn it off. Is it off? Is it on?
It's on right now.
Okay, now it's off.
Okay.
Holding the brightness button, turning it on. It has panicked. I've let go of the brightness button. It has still panicked.
Do you have it show? Is it showing up on your phone?
It's not plugged into anything. And no, it's not showing up on the phone because it's not. There's nothing going on the screen to indicate anything is happening. It's going to magically be blank when I scan for it on the phone.
I don't remember.
No change.
Swipe down and force it to rescan.
Nothing new.
Okay.
I can look at everybody's powered devices, though.
Right.
I can remote control somebody's motorhome. Hold on. Let me get out the instructions. See? Look. Not Bluetooth model.
Go to Google Lens.
Oh, yeah. I know how to do that. I'm joking.
I was hoping you were.
That looks very close to the software. It's not, though, because this is a Windows-looking interface, and the software we downloaded is a Mac-looking interface.
Shane said he connected to his. Shane, did you connect over Bluetooth or over the USB cable? He said he connected to his while it was powered off and plugged in and charging.
Yeah. So when it is off, I can plug it in and it lights up.
Have you tried pressing star? Shane said over Bluetooth.
Well, now that we've totally bricked it. Yeah, it's not working at all anymore. Let me unmaximize myself because that's not necessary. There we go. Okay. Now it's coming on.
It's back working.
And yeah, I mean, you're seeing device manager flash, but it's not showing any new device. It is not recognizing it.
Try using Bamboo Cloud.
Right. Okay. Generic composite. It's working properly. And I have done other serial stuff on this computer before.
Yeah, I don't think it's your computer. Stuff. Ham Radio Hobby has been a member for 32 months. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's reboot just for the hell of it, because that's what you do with computers.
So One thing about Restream is we're not getting any of these notifications in it.
Which notifications?
The membership notifications or the super chats.
Well, that one came up. Remember, for 32 months? And it showed up in green on my side.
Showed up for you in green. I didn't. Yep, there it is. But it doesn't highlight it here.
Computer still says it's restarting. My house battery has officially died during this stream, so I need to go out and change that battery after this is over. My wife is sitting in the dark. See what you guys do? You put my marriage on the line. I'm actually surprised it lasted that long because it wasn't fully, what's it called? It wasn't fully charged when I started. It was only at like 80%. Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome.
It's Bluetooth?
I had a USB. No, I had a USB drive installed, and it booted up to Linux Mint. So we can look at it in. Well, I can't share the screen, but my power is out everywhere except for this room. Okay. Still booting. Windows 95 would be better. Kathy's inviting you over for a glass of wine. Oh, okay. She said okay.
Amdo is asking, has anybody heard of Vera AC? Vera AC.
Yes. I think we actually did a Vera AC stream a while back.
I don't remember it, but that just means I don't remember it.
The C stands for chat. It's Vera Chat.
Okay.
And we did one where it was that is taking forever.
Jody, I thought that's what he meant too, that he was surprised his marriage lasted that long. That's exactly what I thought he meant.
Rod said we did a stream. So Vera AC, I think that's the one where you start on the main channel and then it automatically negotiates a second channel and moves your conversation off of the main channel. And it's like high speed because it's using the Vera protocol instead of like 1200 baud or 300 baud.
So is that in WSJTX?
No,
I don't think it's a separate program. Yeah.
Yeah, STM Microelectronics LED badge, mini LED display, 11 by 44. So it does show up in Linux, but we don't have a Linux programming tool for it. So the next thing we need to do is find an older version of Windows and play with it.
I have a Windows 95 computer that boots up, and I have administrative privileges on it.
I will hand this to you if we remember, because this is such a deep and meaningful topic at Orlando.
Right. Well, why don't you fire? Have you got anything to download VirtualBox and fire a VM on your Mac?
I can't do that because this is Apple Silicon, and you're not able to do that anymore because there's not an x86 emulation layer underneath of it.
I did not know that.
So I could download a Windows 95 Windows 95 OSR2. If you remember that, I think it was OSR2 for Windows 95 or OSRB CD image, or it might have been Windows 98, whatever. Download an old version of Windows.
I think it was 98.
I'd stick it in there. But we've come to the successful end of yet another successful stream. Well, we successfully streamed in Restream.
Right?
Look on the bright side, Jim.
I am on the. I'm smiling because it's going to snow here, and I'm off work tomorrow at least. and maybe
Right.
Wednesday. So that'd be cool. A 2-day work week. It's like being in France or something.
Yeah, you had a banker's holiday today.
Yeah, today's a federal holiday. It was Inauguration Day.
Yeah. And also Civil Rights Day, because they've renamed that too.
Lord.
There's things I can't say on stream.
Right. Ken Lewis, if it snows here, I will at least upload a short or two of me outside in the snow, frolicking.
Oh, I can't wait to see Jim frolic.
What the hell would I do in the snow? I mean, I'm going to go outside and go, look, it's snowing. That's about all I could do. Don't eat yellow snow. I can demo how to make snow ice cream.
If this was important enough, I could install the Box 86 emulator on Raspberry Pi as part of the stream.
Right.
That would be funny. But it's not technically ham related, other than the fact that it's got some dude's call sign on it. Like, I guess does this make it Nuggets legit?
Well, I mean, 3D printing is not really ham. It's ham adjacent.
Well, I make 3D printed side rails for my Yaesu radios.
Ham adjacent, right?
Or 3D printed cases for the Nino TNC that we're probably going to get back to next week.
We have, we have done 3D printed cases for the Nino. I have 3D printed case for my VE6 LK CW trainer. I've 3D printed cases for the Pico APRS for somebody off of Discord at one point. I've 3D printed a lot of stuff that was reasonably ham adjacent. James Hannibal, you are correct. Anything is ham related if you scratch your call sign on it. Correct.
Okay. I do not disagree. All right, folks. I'm going to hit the button because Jim can't. And Jim's going to get to go to the bathroom. Because I can't do that for him either. So there's things he can't do for me. There's things I can't do for him. Muy simpatico. See you later, everybody. Thanks for joining.
See you guys.